Howdy folks, we're going to do a video today on adding a drop loop to a straight belt like this. So this one is just a belt and a holster. This holster's got a little keeper on the inside here that keeps it from flopping around on you. Bob's Leather Works is where I saw that. And it's just two pieces of leather screwed on there, so it works really good to keep it in place. But sometimes you'd like to have a drop loop Buscadero rig, which is not historically accurate, but it's a movie thing and it is the most fun, like what Matt Dillon wore. So you can convert this into a drop loop and then convert it back really easy, and I'm going to show you how I accomplish that. Now, I got this idea off of Rendezvous at Red Rock on the first season of Cheyenne, and a George Montgomery movie from 1951 called The Texas Rangers is where I first saw this type of rig. George Montgomery wore it in the movie, and Gerald Moore, playing Pat Keel, wore it in the episode of Cheyenne. Anyway, so you can convert that to a drop loop rig. I recently just switched these holsters. So what it is, it's an over-the-belt drop loop. So you make this part and slide it over the belt. So that's what we're going to make, is this right here. So to start with, you got to have a pattern. This is the one I already made. I did one that was shaped just like that. And the other one I did a cutout a little bit more, and I don't really like one better than the other. It's just a little different look. But anyway, to accomplish that, I started out with a piece. This was a piece from a pallet sheet. You could get these at, if you asked them, like towards a loading dock at a Walmart or an Ace Hardware. I work at an Ace Hardware. That's where I got this from. So it's just a piece of a sheet that you put on a pallet. It's nice and sturdy. So fold that in half. Want one side to be straight so I can line that up. Now we're going to take the holster off and not worry about that for a second. Put that around the belt. Now this belt is 2 1/4 inches. So you're going to want to come down 2 1/2. Flip this around. So you get an extra quarter. And that's just so you have a little extra room to work with there. So I'm going to come down 2 1/2. Puts me right there. Let's just fold that. That'll be all right. Okay. Got my mark. I'm going to line my straight edge up on the straight side of this paper. Just make a line across there. Make sure we're square here. 2 1/2. Alright, so you got that line. Now we're going to come down 1/4 of an inch from there. We're going to make another line. Okay, now we're going to come down 1/4 of an inch from there. So this one will be 1/2 inch from our original line. Okay, one line ain't very straight. So I got my lines. The top line marks where your belt is. This next line is where your slit will start, and it doesn't want to go below that. And then we'll round off this somewhere. I'll figure that out after I get going. Now we need to bring in the holster. And I'm gonna lay that right there, and that'll kind of figure out my width. Okay, so that'll mark how big my slit needs to be. So now I'm going to take just a regular cheap pair of scissors. I'm going to, let's see here, I'm going to come in, oh hang on, forgot one step. I got to fold this in half again. This will get you pretty close to even on both sides. So we're going to come in, so this is the mark for how wide the holster is, so I'm going to come in a little bit from that and kind of just round that out to here and then come out to here. So that's what I'm going to be doing right now. And you want to go to the outside of that line you made for your holster. So there's where the end of my slot will be. I should have left up here a little bit bigger, but I think it'll work just fine for what we're doing. So that's going to be your finished product. Now, I'm going to fold that over again. I'm going to take my awl and go to my middle thing here, and I'm just going to poke my awl through that. It'll give me a start and stop reference for my slots. So next we'll put it on a piece of leather. This is a heavy vegetable tan split from Springfield Leather, so it's rough on both sides. Really good bang for your buck with this kind of leather. You won't be able to use a scratch awl. Well, you can, but you can't see it very good, so I just use a pencil. If you can really see that, kind of. I'm going to lay my pattern back on. Mark out my holes. Okay. time getting through this stuff with one pass. I just got an Al Stolman round knife. It's not the best one you can get, I don't think. Okay, now this is going to be our outside, because that's where we marked our holes. I'm going to make those a little more defined so I don't lose them later. Just put away. Cheap edger off of Amazon. You're going to want to edge everything but the inside of the bottom of the inside. Bevel the edges, I should say. Being it's rough out, this stuff isn't the easiest to bevel, but it does still make it look better if you do. Oops, I wasn't going to do that. Just want to start at the so yeah, you bevel everything but these two. Okay, now this is just plain old dirty water and an old dirty rag. And just take and do my edges in the middle here. You don't want them like totally soaked, but get them fairly wet. My Fighting Saddle soap. Take a little on my finger, smear that on the very edge here. Piece of canvas off an army bag. Just lightly rub that in. The water and friction is what you're doing here is getting all those fibers to bond, so it gives you a nice smooth slick edge rather than a bunch of fibers just sticking all over every which ways looking kind of sloppy. Okay, step away for a second and get my glue and clips here, and we'll get this thing glued up, and then we'll pick up in another video. I'm using Fibrings Leather Craft Cement. I'm just going to take just dabbed a little on there. Line that up as good as you can. Okay, so those are just binder clips, cheap binder clips off of Amazon. I think I got, there's a ridiculous amount of sizes and different amounts or whatever for, I think it was like 11 bucks. Bought them several years ago, use them all the time, and they work really good on vegetable tan. If you're doing chrome tan, something like this kind of leather, the oil tans are for a purse, a little too hard, but vegetable tan, they work real good. Thanks for watching.